That deadly shooting in Australia is the latest and deadliest anti-Semitic attack we've seen this year. In October, a terrorist in the United Kingdom targeted a synagogue during Yom Kippur. Back here in the U.S., we saw the murders of 2 Israeli embassy staffers at the Capitol Jewish Museum in April, the arson at Governor Josh Shapiro's house during Passover in Pennsylvania, and a Molotov cocktail attack on Jewish demonstrators in Boulder, Colorado back in June. Joining us now, Liora Rez. She is the founder and executive director of StopAntisemitism. It's a 3-word question, but it's a big one. What's going on, Liora?
Pleasure to be with you once again. And I think, honestly, complete lunacy with rabid hate and bigotry being allowed to take over modern society. If we look at Bondi Beach, what happened last weekend, over 1,000 Jews and friends came to celebrate Hanukkah, and 2 madmen, a father and son, opened fire, killing 14 people, including a 10-year-old child, a Holocaust survivor, and a rabbi amongst the victims. And if we look at a few months back, or actually if we rewind the whole year, what's happened in May, Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram gunned down 2 young individuals ready to start their lives who were set to be engaged. They were gunned down leaving a Jewish event in D.C. We look at that and, you know, our heads go, how in the world is this happening in 2025? But it still continues to happen. And unfortunately, our governmental officials, our laws, they are just not doing enough to protect us.
The FBI compiles statistics on this kind of thing, and they're pretty appalling. For 2024, the FBI report says there were 1,938 single-bias hate crimes against Jews. That's the highest number ever recorded since the FBI began collecting the data in 1991, and anti-Jewish incidents comprised nearly 70% of all religious-based hate crimes. Now, the number of Jews in this country, and really worldwide, is relatively small, and yet you've got 70% of the hate crimes directed against your people. Why?
So I have to tell you, not only are we a tiny minority in this country and around the world, there's only approximately 15 million Jews in the entire world. What's even more frightening is that so many incidents do not get reported. So while this number is staggering, we feel that the actual figure is much, much worse.
The former Australian Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, wrote an op-ed piece for the Wall Street Journal, and in it he writes this: Australia has been manipulated by cynical anti-Israel and anti-Semitic activists. The root cause must be addressed. These terrorists were homegrown. They were radicalized in Australia. The father arrived decades ago. His son was born here. That reality demands accountability. So, you know, there's some talk about how they may have been inspired and maybe trained by ISIS in the Pacific, but they were very much Australians.
They were. However, if we look at Australia, for instance, 2 days after the October 7th massacre, Sydney allowed various demonstrations go non-interrupted across the country, where you see radical Islamists yelling for the death of Jews and for gassing of Jews. Again, this was just 2 days post 10/7. Synagogues were firebombed, daycare centers were vandalized, and the Australian government failed to do anything. When we look back into this country, who vandalized Governor Shapiro's home and attempted to set it on fire? A radical screaming about free Palestine. If we look at the individual who murdered Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, a radical screaming about free Palestine. So what is happening, a war that is happening halfway around the world, is affecting every single one of us in the diaspora outside of Israel, and we are being held responsible for something that we have nothing to do with.
Leora Rez is the founder and executive director of Stop Antisemitism. Leora, thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.